Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris, and today we got something a little bit different. This is actually a property that I really enjoy, but not the series that you'd think. And it's time for Thundercats. Ho. So these two guys right here, I just found today actually over at Target. This guy rang up just fine. Lion-O did not. So I'm not sure if he's street dated or whatever, but the register person didn't give two shits. He just ended up scanning two of these, and I appreciate that because I dislike getting to a register, scanning something and having it go off as a red flag as if I did something wrong, even though if you put it on shelf, to me as a customer, that says it's available. First come, first serve. But yeah, these are made by Super7, and they are a little bit different than their Ultimates stuff, even though it looks kind of derivative, like the figure itself. So yeah, these are considered deluxe. And you can see that on the packaging itself. And these are definitely like lower level as far as packaging goes. Like the print doesn't even look that great. Definitely looks like it's from the 80s. So if that's the vibe that they're going for, then cool, you nailed it. But I just don't think that this is like the best look. However, the figures are priced more affordably than their Ultimates line. And I believe the Ultimates line, despite them coming with extra accessories and all of that stuff, which I love the Ultimate stuff. I have some of the Joes. I have every single turtle that's released so far. Not literally just the turtle, like every turtle character. And I absolutely love it. But I believe that most of the price, because they range between like, what was it? Like 55 to 70 something, depending on how big the character is. I believe most of that cost is in the packaging itself, because these right here were about $35. And for that price, you would think that there would be more accessories, because for a lower tiered McFarlane figure, like a DC Multiverse, you get more accessories typically for the price point. And I say typically because it's not normal. Like the Huntress right here, she clearly comes with face plates and multiple hands, a weapon, card, stand, you know, bendy wire cape, all of that stuff. Retail was less than one of these. But if you bring in Cyborg, he comes with one accessory. So yeah, it's not like a universal thing. I'm just saying. I wish that these came with more than what they do, especially Lion-O. He comes with his gauntlet, but he only comes with one sword. Where's the smaller sword? That way you can stick it in the gauntlet, like you're supposed to. Now, the Thundercats is an animated TV show that originally started airing way back in 1985. I was very young. I think I was like 2 at that time. So I only really caught like random reruns and stuff. I didn't, you know, live through the original experience as some of the older kids from the 80s. However, there was a 2011 version of the series, which I personally found to be really awesome. Like, I loved that. And on top of that, I believe it was the Lion-O character was voiced by Batman Beyond himself, Will Friedle. That version of the series wasn't long-lived or anything like that. I do have some of the action figures from them. I just don't know where I put them. I was trying to look for them before I did this, and I can't find them, so I don't know what drawer or whatever they're in, but they're somewhere. And again, that version of Lion-O cost less than this, and it did come with different versions of the gauntlet. I'm pretty sure it came with one that had no fingers, so you can hang it on his belt. It came with the smaller Sword of Omen, so you could put it in that gauntlet. And then it came with an open hand gauntlet and the longer sword. So yeah, I just wish that this came with more stuff, because this is an iconic look for the character itself. But with all that being said, let's open this bad boy up and see if it's awesome. You know, where do they think these guys are going? Like, they know that Toy Story is not real, right? Especially when the stuff that falls around the package is stuff like this, like the extra clam pieces, not the figure. The figure is in molded plastic that just cradles them perfectly. They smell weird. Kind of like diesel fuel. It's a little odd, but hey, I'll roll with it. All right, so here they are in all of their glory and all of their numerous accessories.
Sarcasm?
Yes, sarcasm. I guess we'll go over this guy first. I don't know or remember how to pronounce his name. Is it Monkian or Monkian? I'm not sure. Please school me. But either way, he comes with one accessory. I will say that it's a nice one. It's got the ball and chain attached to the, you know, the hilt. Feels pretty cool. I dig it. But will it go in his hand and stay there? Oh yeah, that's a nice snug fit. I like that. Shoulders are hindered a little bit, but you know, the hair that's up there, it does move. This one, oh, maybe it's not supposed to? Or is it just glued onto there? Oops, I think I broke a little piece of it. It was glued right over here, but either way, now it can move. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. That would suck. But yeah, you can move his arms up and down, but not all the way around. Obviously, those are blocked. His jaw looks like it opens and closes, but it does not. But the sculpting is fantastic, and that's something that Super7 really does kill it at. pretty much every single time. He's got a decent ab crunch, so he can crunch down. Can't really crunch back. That's about as far back as he'll go. His head's also restricted as far as motion goes because of the long hair and everything, but I'm not sure if I would prefer like less awesome sculpting and more articulation or vice versa. I don't know which one I prefer. And then they've got single jointed elbows, not really a ton of range of motion. That's about as far as it'll go. And then you do have the wrist pivots and you can spin it and everything like that. And then his legs move up, down, to the side pretty good. I like that the accessories or whatever that you would say, like whatever this extra stuff is on his leg is molded onto it. That's something that I dislike a lot. Like they do that a lot in Marvel Legends and with the G.I. Joe classified lines where they have all these cool, you know, pouches and, you know, weapon holsters and all that stuff, and then they just, you know, fall and move all over the place, and it's a pain in the butt to make it look good. I wish that they would just be attached and molded to the leg. Maybe then they can't repurpose all of the legs, but either way, it should be like that. It's awesome. Single jointed knees, and that's about as far back as it'll go for that one. This one a little bit, maybe just a little bit more because it's not being restricted completely by the little bandage thing. And then you can pivot his ankle back and forth, and a little bit of a rock as well, or a tilt. And as far as the way that he looks, I think he looks awesome. Like he looks great. This is where Super 7 again really does kill it. Their sculpt work is amazing. I don't know if these are necessarily meant to be playable action figures or if these are adult collectibles. I obviously know that this is an 80s property, so a lot of these kids don't know about this stuff nowadays. So in that sense, it's most likely geared towards adults, but maybe it's just a price point thing where this is a lower tiered or more affordably priced option compared to the Ultimates line. I don't know. Now, as far as Lino is concerned, he does have an extra accessory, so he gets the gauntlet right here, as well as the sword. Again, I really just wish that the sword came with the second one, like the smaller version. Something I'm a little confused with though is that he comes with this little peg right there, but what do you do with it? Like this doesn't attach to it, or does it? Like it doesn't want to stay there. So yeah, and then there's no peg hole on the sword to place it with. So what, I mean, are you just supposed to do that? Because that's not right, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's a little strange. I will say that they looked cooler in the box, especially for the price. I think out the door this was like 60 something dollars. Why is there a peg here? What is the peg for? Is this just repurposed tooling? I'm not opposed to that, as long as it makes sense. And is this even a usable piece? Like there's not anything, you know, inside there, like a peg hole for his hand. So if you pull that off, I guess it just, okay. All right, well, that's not a big deal. I do like that. That looks cool. So that's dope. Maybe I'll just leave them like this. But yeah, articulation is not as awesome as, you know, some of the other figures from other lines, but the sculpting does look really cool, so I like his face. I wish that it came with a secondary face, but this is okay for, I suppose, the price. He does got a ball joint up here for, you know, his torso, so he can move quite a bit. Waist swivel, similar legs as the other character, and a single joint that doesn't want to move. This is what I really dislike about Super 7, is that I've broken more of these than I'd care to admit. So yeah, you really got to finesse their joints. It's like trying to move my own body, especially in the morning. It's like, this does not want to work, man. Like, what is going on? And then you do have ankles, same thing, slight tilt or rock, so that's cool. And yeah, I think that these are really cool, at least in the package. Man, these are stiff as hell. So yeah, he can move and all that stuff pretty limitedly. His shoulder doesn't want to move. Yeah, his right shoulder's just stuck, which is a huge bummer because that is where you put the sword. I mean, I suppose I could still move him so that he's like doing the thing, but like, you know, I can't open him up. And I know that there's the hot water method. I know that there's the heat gun or hairdryer trick. I shouldn't have to do that stuff with these action figures, man. I just pulled it out of the box. He should just work. It's not like this is like extremely crazy technology, you know what I mean? Like this is a toy. It's an action figure. It should just move in the joints. But yeah, his neck doesn't look super clean. You can see all the gaps, and you can't move it too far back or too far forward. But again, for something that's fairly affordably priced, even though not exactly, I think If you're only buying one character, if you're just collecting the cats themselves, I think that you'll be okay. If you're trying to get the good guys and the bad guys, then maybe that's where things are like, I think I'd rather just wait till I get the ultimates on sale. Because I see these things over at like Best Buy just rotting on the shelf, and I think I'd rather have that. But if you only want one character, like the main guy, Lion-O, and you wanted to put him on shelf, he does look pretty cool just standing there. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll just leave him on the shelf in some random pose because he can't really articulate very well, and I'll call it a day. You know, the more that I move this thing around, the more that I just wish that I would have bought the Ultimates version instead, like only Lion-O and not the other character. Because for 55 bucks, you know, $10 less than what I paid for 2 of these things, I could have gotten all the stuff that I wanted with the one altogether. I could have gotten the different accessories, the different head sculpts, the different versions of the sword, way more hands than you would ever need, and maybe a joint that worked at the shoulder, I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed with this one. I will put him on the shelf, but he will probably not be played with or anything like that. It's not the best, you know what I mean? And for 30 something bucks, 35 bucks, whatever it was, I don't know. When you'd rather take that $35 and put it towards something different, I don't think that's a good look for the brand, both the Thundercats brand and Super 7. But feel free to let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, the like button, leave a comment. It helps all the algorithmic things. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I will catch y'all on the next one. So until then, stay nerdy, my friends.